In life, you really expect to have some sort of privacy in your life. You want to know that your information is only yours and not the government's information all the time. It's nice to be able to have some sort of sense of security and being able to decide what you do in your own life. And I believe that the West is really seeing a decline in this. And one of the things that I just came across is an article by the OECD, and they are pushing a pretty drastic change when it comes to transparency and privacy law. And they're saying that they're going to be starting to push a new global real estate transparency framework, closing what they call is the last major privacy gap internationally held property. Now, they're already starting to do this with a lot of countries when it comes to currencies and getting into crypto and turning their current currency into digital assets where they can track a lot more. Carbon scores are going to be something. I know in Canada that they're now testing out 15-minute cities in Edmonton, Alberta, and I know a lot of other countries in Western Europe, they're starting to implement this as well. Now, the goal is simple with this new global real estate transparency framework. The governments want a global map of who owns what, where they own it, how they paid for it, and whether it is going to be generating income or not. So that they can tax you, of course, because God forbid you made an extra couple of dollars or an extra couple of euros and you did not tell daddy government about that and they did not get their fair share, so that they can send it not to their own country, not to their own citizens to better their own lives, but to other countries. We're seeing that now globally. Canada's spending billions of dollars sending it to this country, to that country, but the standard of living is going down. We're seeing that with other countries in the EU. They're sending money to all other countries except for investing it in their own ecosystem, into their own economy, into their own infrastructure. So I think this is going to be a very scary moment. And will countries comply? Well, who knows? But what are the things that they're going to exchange with other countries when it comes to this reporting? They're going to want to know the owner's identity and tax IDs, the property value and the location, purchase and sales details, rental income and reporting, ownership structures and ultimate beneficiaries, and even financing methods. Was it cash, mortgage, corporate entities, so on and so forth? And I believe that this is very scary for a lot of people who, want something safe. A lot of people feel that real estate is something that it is theirs, near to dear to their heart, and that they can actually do as they please. But I believe that this is going to really hinder what a lot of people are going to be able to do when it comes to their properties. Now, this means for many countries that privacy and property investing is over, especially for high net worth individuals and those that use corporate structures or trust companies or holding companies. This is going to be very difficult to deal with. Now, who's going to be implementing this most? I believe this is going to be mostly the Commonwealth countries, the UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, such as that. The countries that I feel are big pushover countries, essentially. One of the things is that the US is not part of the Commonwealth, and so they're going to be withholding from this. But one of the things that Serbia is not part of is the CRS system. So that's one thing that is good, especially if you are a citizen here in Serbia. And I believe this is going to be one way to get around this new method of the global real estate transparency framework, is that getting your citizenship here in Serbia is going to be very, very important, just so that you're not reported to your home country, especially if you are a foreigner. But one thing that they did do is that they did sign the OECD Tax Cooperation Convention, but this is only for exchange of information on request and not automatically reported. So this is very similar to if you are a US citizen and you're living in another country. Global citizens of the United States are taxed on their worldwide income. And so if you are a foreigner living in Serbia and your home country wants to know what assets you own here when it comes to real estate, Serbia may give that information to them unless you are a citizen. And I believe this is a great time for those who have ancestry here in Serbia to apply for citizenship by descent. This is going to be another good avenue for those high net worth individuals who are looking for citizenship by merit here as well, which we have assisted clients with both descent and merit. And we're seeing a lot more starting to do that this time of year, because they're seeing what's happening with these government policies, and they're planning for 2026 after we're exiting all this holiday season and the New Year's. We already have a lineup of clients that are saying, hey, listen, we're getting all our stuff in order right now in order to make that jump next year into Serbia and into that market. So this does, like I said, this does not mean that we're going to be automatically reporting it. There's no scheduled yearly data dumps to foreign tax authorities from Serbia's side. There's no mandatory rental income sharing. There's no automatic ownership structure disclosures. There's no global map flagging where you live or invest. So if somebody buys property in Serbia as a Serbian citizen, you're under the Serbian jurisdiction, and so you are a citizen here. There's no reason for them to report you to another country, which I think is a great thing. And I'm very glad that I came here years ago and obtained my Serbian citizenship, and my wife will be getting it in the near future, and my son also already has Serbian citizenship. So in that sense, we are very good. We still have Canadian citizenship, but we are now non-tax residents there. So we have completely cut ties with Canada. They can go pound salt when it comes to learning about what we're doing in our lives. So beyond privacy, here's where Serbia really pulls ahead further from these other countries that are joining these policies. What I call is CRS countries, and there's very few countries that are not part of the CRS system, and Serbia is one of them. You can Google and find out other countries out there as well, but there are many citizenship pathways here in Serbia. There's no global overreach here, so Serbia doesn't enforce the financial and property passporting trend other nations are rushing towards. There are strong property rights here in Serbia. There's really good opportunity for business structures, and they remain very flexible. So one of the things that we're seeing a lot of our high net worth clients do is coming here and investing in certain sectors of business. And getting that foot in the door, especially like I've mentioned before, the 2027 World Expo is being held here in Serbia, and that's really going to do a number for Serbia and the foreign investment coming in here. And so a lot of the investors that we were working with, they're getting that foot in the door here before that rush comes in here. There's affordable entry point for property investments here. Serbia has very affordable prices depending who you ask. Again, some people say it's not affordable, some people it is. I believe myself that is still very affordable here. There's a growing digital nomad expat demand here, and people are flocking here because we got good infrastructure. There's a lot of English speakers here as well, so expats can blend in well, and at the same time learn the culture and the language here. Very competitive tax environment. Serbia is one of the lowest tax countries in Europe. So 10% on your personal income tax, 15% corporate tax. That can be reduced depending on the business that you're getting in. And we're also culturally and strategically neutral. We don't deal with that woke nonsense. We still hold that line of old Christian values, which many people are appreciating when they get here. So if you are someone that is in one of these countries and you're a high net worth individual, or you're someone who is of Serbian descent and looking to find a way around, a work around this, you may want to consider Serbia into obtaining their citizenship here, either by descent or by merit. And there's a couple other avenues you can do that with as well. We are not part of the CRS system, so your money is going to be safe here, your crypto is going to be safe here, and you purchasing real estate here will not be reported either. And even if you are just a foreigner coming here under a temporary residence program, your country needs to still request Serbia to send information on you to get that. And Serbia is not the quickest country when it comes to paperwork and information, and if they're going to see a huge workload here, it's just going to backlog the system. So even if you are a temporary resident here or a foreigner in this country, you're still going to be safe here. It's not like we automatically report you to your home country, which I think is fantastic, except that you may have a couple issues when it comes to your personal taxes if you're a US citizen. But at that same point, if you are living in Serbia, there is a way that you can make up to, I believe it's 135,000 US dollars. Don't quote me on that number. And still only pay taxes in Serbia and be exempt from paying taxes in the United States. This is something that we have worked with many of our tax advisors here in Serbia, with our US clients, and helping them reduce their taxes. And so with their double tax treaties and tax loopholes, you are able to only keep paying your taxes here in Serbia. And so if this is something that you're interested in, feel free to reach out to us. We're always open and willing to work with people from all forms of life from any country. It doesn't surprise us anymore who comes into Serbia. I've lost the idea of why would someone from that country want to move here, because I'm seeing from an outsider's perspective how my own country has changed and how Serbia is and how my life has been benefited by moving to this country. And I think that yours might too.